Before we start painting again, I'm going to fill this crack between the wall and the skirting board where you see that little thin black line with decorator's caulk. And it's the decorator's caulk that we use to fill gaps between skirting boards and door frames and things like that. And that'll fill the gap nicely, and if it moves just slightly it will hopefully. Right, this is a tube of decorator's caulk which we trim the end off here with a sharp knife carefully, leaving the screw thread in place, and then that's the cap there, which we're just going to trim just a 45-degree angle at the end of the nozzle here, to about the size of the gap that you're filling, and then you won't waste too much of the caulk. So we're going to just screw that into there, put that into the frame gun or skeleton gun with the 45-degree part of the nozzle, angled nozzle, facing down to the crack that we want to fill in. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to get, this has been used before, so we're just going to get rid of the dodgy bit at the beginning, which is a bit hard, not much use, so we get rid of that. Just with a bit of kitchen roll here, because then that's keep it all. Anyway, so push that through. Now it's coming out the end of the nozzle, so then what we're going to do is we're going to get the nozzle against our crack that we want to fill, and then we're going to push, keep the pressure on the gun and push away from us. This improves with practice. And just go along the line, and there's also a line back here, so we're just going to go along the line there, just gently. The skirting board's a bit rough, it's sometimes a bit difficult to get in. Just keep the pressure on the trigger. Some people go back the other way. And there we are. So that's roughly, very roughly in the gap, and then basically got just some water and a little paintbrush here. So take the worst of the water off, and then we're just going to paint that bit in to there. Although it looks a bit messy the way I was putting it on to begin with, once it's all pushed in with a wet paintbrush, it's a decent job. If you just get rid of the worst of the bumpy bits, then, because you can't easily sand decorator's caulk, so you need to get it as smooth as possible with your little brush dipped in water, but then that'll make a much better finish. It'll be much easier to put the paint onto as well. Just going to put a little bit of decorator's caulk into this crack I found here. I'm just going to push that on there. When it gets caught on a bit of a rough part of the wood or barrier, it makes a bit of a mess. But then once it's on there, it looks a bit messy, as I say, but then we're just going to put brush dipped in water, and we're just going to run that along there and flatten that all out, and it'll all look nice and smart. It's best to flatten it out with the brush and water, because it's very, well, almost impossible to sand it down properly, and then that leaves a nice, hopefully a nice smooth finish to be able to paint over.